Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is John and Jenna, and I'm just not even ready anymore.
Hi.
Yeah, my logo is kind of offset, but it's the way the hat is actually. Um, thank you guys for everything that you guys have really been there this entire time with us with this whole suspension fiasco. I can report to you that everything's back to normal on my account. What I went and did was, because they were slowly trickling the items back into my account for sale to be seen by people to buy. I think this morning at like 7 a.m. we had like 31 items that were visible, and I guess it's just like a slow drip. So I decided, well, you know what, I'm not going to wait for this process. So I went in and I ended everything, and then I went back in to my ended items and then just did a sell similar on all of them, and I have I have 173 in sales already. So I mean, that's not bad for the day. So, and I think I have
Thank
some.
God.
Well,
It was a stressful weekend. I mean,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah, and I think I have some that were that I'm waiting payment on. I think I have. I'm still waiting payment on two. So, I mean, it's actually. Yeah, someone bought that. So, and that's the thing, you sell similar. You end your listings and you sell similar. So, I think this is something that I plan on doing. It's a learning experience, this whole thing. So I plan on doing a for the entire store every once in a while. And I know people have placed this is something that they like to do. But for me, I did the whole store. I did a sell similar, and it's like every listing is considered like a fresh listing right now.
You gotta pause. Do you guys notice the lights in the back? They're kind of flickering. Let us know in the comments if it's bothering you. If it is, we'll switch it.
Yeah, we changed things up a little bit. It's like a
It's supposed to
candlelight
be like
effect.
a fire.
Yeah, effect. And this lighting, it does all kinds of different things. So try to change it up, but I don't want to freak
I was
anyone
just
out.
saying the lights on us, like we're like going in and out. It was weird.
Okay. So, for those of you who are watching this live, what we do, as you guys know, many of you know, but there are some new people. We take your questions. We talk about different things for about an hour, hour and a half related to reselling. But the conversation is driven by you guys. I mean, I'm some old guy over here just kind of ranting away at times and reading your comments, and you guys provide the content for the most part. If you can do me a favor, if you enjoy this content, just hit that like button. That's all I ask. If you're watching this after the fact, I mean, maybe next time you can join us, but put your comments and questions down below. That's appreciated. And she's always laughing before I can get to the comment.
Because Tommy, he's got to slip into something a little more comfortable.
Oh,
he
okay.
said.
I thought you already were. Oh, actually, you might not have been wearing anything in the last live, so now you're actually going to dress for the live. Yeah, so that's good. Yeah. So at least the lighting got you to at least dress for the program. So let me just say this. So the topic at hand is really just talking to you about how eBay is with sellers, in that the expectation I think some people have is that eBay is going to be our best friend. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. You got to understand your role as a seller on eBay's platform. Now, and I think I've talked about this and hit on this for, different problems that I've encountered. But, what I've learned in this, more than I thought I knew, I learned how broken eBay's customer service support is. And, it kind of drives back the recollection I have when I was back at Amtrak, and the entire industry was starting to go from a customer focused industry to one where it is like a self-service, low cost support system, where they try to make it difficult for you to actually get a rep on the phone to drive you to the self-service options like chat online, right? ebay.com chat. They'd rather you chat because that phone call costs money. Even though it doesn't cost you money, that 800 number, it costs money every time you call into that number, there's a cost associated with that phone call, not with chat. Okay. Now, of course, we could say you can add the additional cost of that employee that you're dealing with. But that's on both sides, both chat and on the phone call. It's much cheaper for those representatives in the Philippines who might be getting paid $2 to $3 an hour, and that's the reality of it. And you just got to know that it's more about money, more about cost than your experience as a seller on this platform. And as soon as you kind of realize that and just think of it as it is what it is, then you're going to start playing the game back. And the way you play the game is you find ways to get the answer as quickly as possible and cut out all the garbage, okay? Because that garbage is going to cost you time and money. Now, people had commented that, maybe you should have used like eBay for Business on Facebook. And you know what? You're right. But it's been my experience that on the weekends that I don't get as quick of a reply as I would maybe on a weekday. And the fact is, I had a 3-day suspension. The goal was to get it lifted as soon as possible to get my stuff back up for sale. And, my only regret was that I didn't continue to call until I got that US rep on the phone, because I didn't get that rep until Sunday. Had I just, continued to be aggressive with it, and I know it sounds crazy to keep calling back and calling back and calling back and calling back, but it's not really the squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of thing. It's more of finding the right person, because based on the way eBay is structured, you're supposed to get someone who's scripted, someone who's supposed to refer it to someone else in a back office. That's what they keep saying. And that person will get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. They do not want you calling back. They really don't want you getting in touch with these good reps that they have hidden in the United States. Okay. So you gotta persevere. You gotta keep, and even asking for a supervisor is not suffice, because I'm still waiting for a call back from the 3 different requests they put in for me. Okay. So you just got to know the department you need. In this case, it was trust and safety. Anytime you're suspended or you get this kind of a violation warning for anything you sell, Vero, or in this case, the drug over-the-counter policy, you just got to call. Just give the first rep a brief synopsis of what's going on. Don't go into the whole thing. Save yourself some time on that front, saying, you cannot help me. I need to speak to someone in trust and safety, and I do not want anyone in the Philippines. Thankfully, that rep said, I'm going to give it a couple tries, but I can't keep trying. They tried once, got Philippines, tried again, got US. So that's kind of my advice with that. You just got to have to know how to navigate the system. And it's a lesson learned for me. I would have done it a little bit differently. But one thing you guys also have to realize is that I actually have another job, and that is YouTube, and to talk to you guys and to show you guys what I go through. I'm sure there's many things that I handle when I encounter them on eBay, and I handle them differently because I want you to be a part of the process. I want you to see and hear what I'm dealing with, rather than just me saying, hey guys, guess what happened? I got suspended and here's what I said, and maybe I'll forget pieces of the story. So that's why I allowed you to be a part of that phone call, or, when we were talking to those reps. And I think that was a learning experience, not only for me, but for many of you, maybe you haven't had an opportunity to reach out, or, maybe you sell something that's really safe. Maybe you're considering selling something that's not safe. Like, I think health and beauty is out of it for me from here on out. But if you've never gone through that, you don't know how sometimes flipping ain't easy, we talk about. And this is just one example. Okay. There's no seller on the face of the earth that can say flipping is easy if they've never been suspended, because unless you don't care, I guess, if you don't care about the stuff you have up for sale and just say, I'll just wait until I get lifted. If you rely on this income, that's stressful. And I got to say, guys, I really think it would have been really, of course I would have pulled through, but people say I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. But you know what? You guys make it a lot easier when I have you guys on my side. And you know, it's tough times like this that you really, really see who's got your back. And I just got to say, you know, a few shout outs here. Um, my buddy Archie, my buddy Mike. Awesome, Mike. You're just an awesome
Mike,
human
you
being.
are just an angel from above.
Tommy's been helpful. And you know what? There's a few that reached out to me on eBay. So I really don't know the associated screen name on YouTube, but you know who you are. You reached out to me on either of my accounts saying, hey, you know, just wanted to let you know whatever you found on my account, that information was helpful to me.
And many others did too. We just, you know, we can't name them all, but there's he'll get to your comments. You guys checked out the store to see if the items were back up, and just constantly checking on us to see how we're doing. That is truly genuine. And that's why we're here. The way that you guys support us is the only reason we can keep going sometimes. And, you know, when he told me he got suspended, I thought, oh shit. Oops. And, you know, I had a lot more words to say, but it's a good thing that he's the one that does the talking on the phone, because when he told me, I forget if you called me or whatever, but when he told me, I went off. And then yesterday, being that he wasn't getting anywhere that I knew of, because I was gone yesterday, and he called me to let me know, and I just gave it, I gave it to him, but it wasn't to him. It was because of the situation, and it was stressful on me, because thinking, oh God, 3 days, especially over a weekend, that's when most of our sales happen. So it's extremely frustrating. But I have to tell you, the comments that you guys have given, the reaching out over Instagram and email, and your kindness means more to us than any of this. And that's why we do this.
I got to tell you guys, I don't cry a lot, and I'm not right here about to just, I'm not, but I felt that way over the weekend, on many occasions when I came across things you guys have done, and the kind words that the comments, hey, here's my experience, and, just keep your head up kind of thing. And, I just, of course I've made it through. It's not the end of the world, 3 days, but it just makes the blow a little easier. It makes me feel better about my situation than if I was on eBay Island and I didn't have the level of support. And I just say it like this: friendship. I mean, we may never meet ever, but just to know that you guys have my back, and you take the time out of your day just to check on my account, or to send me a message, or give me some information that I might need. And if you're like my buddy Mike,
Mike. He was nearly in tears last night.
You know what? It's like you get on your other account, and you see Mike didn't have to go, and he went and bought some stuff on that account, and it's like, it wasn't expected. And this whole episode is not about how emotional I am, because I generally am not an emotional person, but just to see the beautiful people that have tuned into this community is just, you can't put words on it. I can sit here and try, but you guys understand what I'm saying. So I just want to thank each and every one of you guys, and even maybe those of you who didn't reach out and just said a prayer, and maybe those haters out there. I like to say haters once in a while. Maybe those people that just didn't say anything that wanted to. Thank you for not doing that. It's just sometimes you run into a buzzsaw in life, and this is just one of those things. So thank you guys for not only being there, but being here. You know, we got 84 people. We'll probably have over 100 people watching again. And it's just pretty special. So thank you guys. So that aside, just remember, you know, the topic of this video was pretty much just to, if you haven't watched the videos, go back and see what I went through in the first video. But let me say one thing here, because I did get some flack from a few people that said, one person said something, you know, you were in the industry for 26 years, you know, the way you treated the people, believe me, I didn't treat anyone anyway. When you work as a representative on the phone, you learn how people talk to you. And there's people who would just, you know, for a lot less would get just nasty. I mean, I had someone fight me over 75 cents on a fare, you know, a train fare. Okay. And it's like, come on, this is not personal. I'm just doing my job.
Yeah, there's lots of verbiage that can be used, and we've heard it all.
Yes, and
all of it.
Right. But you learn the most effective ways to communicate as a customer. Okay. You remember the people that were able to make a point in the way they presented their case, and that resonates with you. Right. So when I'm now the customer and I'm calling eBay and I need assistance, I'm not going to be that customer that says, oh, okay, I'll wait 24 hours. I'll call back, because that's what they want you to do. Okay. That's what they're trained to do. The quicker they can get them off the phone, or the customer off the phone, the less money it costs the company to keep that phone call going. Okay. But for me, it's about what has worked for customers in the past that I've dealt with. And the most effective customers are ones that are polite but firm. Okay. And don't take crap answers as an answer. Okay. Because many times people say, okay, thank you. And then they get off the phone and say, I don't think they told me the truth. No, you don't get off the phone. You call them on their BS. And if they, you know, and you do it in a respectful way, and you also tell them to show me the policy. Where is it written in policy? And they were unable to tell me that about when I called back in about where's this list? Where's this list of stuff that I can't sell? And well, it's such a large list that it would be too large to give to the sellers. Now, the problem that I have is us sellers are, you know, look, this is our business. Okay. We're not an employee of eBay. We contract basically we're contracted employees. I guess that's kind of how it is. I mean, that's kind of how it is. We're contracted employees, but it's our stuff. It's our business. You know, at the end of the day, we're dealing with Uncle Sam paying the taxes, not eBay on these sales. And we should have some kind of partnership. If eBay is really serious about improving the seller experience, it starts here, that there should be a partnership, a shared responsibility, that if eBay wants us to follow the policies that they've laid out, if they want us to play in their sandbox, then they need to let us know that the shovel and the bucket that we're using in their sandbox is eBay compliant, for lack of a worse analogy. Okay. And that's the problem that I have. And some people have even said, why does eBay even allow sellers to click list this item and have it go through for an item that's not supposed to be listed? eBay has the duty to, and it's not hard. They do it for other items. If you try to sell a mahogany, whatever, something made of like a certain type of wood, right? And you try to list that and you're shipping it out to a country that doesn't accept it, guess what happens? eBay stops you and has a little warning message. Okay. If you try to sell a firearm part, okay, and you're selling it to a country that doesn't allow it, there's a little blurb that's going to stop you. If you mention condition information that doesn't jive with the condition that you're using in the listing, it will stop you when you hit list the item, and it'll say, it looks like you're trying to list this item in a different condition than what you've actually selected as the actual condition. It will stop you. So why is it that eBay allows all these products? All you got to do is build a database, guys. You mention one of those terms in the title or the description or the brands or whatever term they put in the database, just like the type of wood or type of firearm part, it should stop you. But it doesn't.
I just think that eBay is so outdated, and this is just an example of it. You know, so just an example is, when I had to make reservations for certain passengers to do certain service requests because they were in need or what have you, if I didn't fill out the proper documentation correctly, it would stop me and it would not allow me to end my record or reservation to be able to complete it. So therefore, eBay is just a dinosaur. They need to invest more money, which we know they won't.
But I would buy that argument, and maybe even as an excuse for eBay, if they didn't already have those things in place that I just mentioned.
Right.
Those are 3 different examples where they step in and do not allow you to get yourself into that position. Okay. So why does it end there? Okay. They talk about things like improving the seller experience. We talked about how they promised us for the last 10 months that they were going to start to a point where they were going to get all the people on board to give a credit card on best offers. Okay. And now they don't tell us why they haven't completed that, but don't you think there's a reason why they haven't completed it? Not because the technology is not there. They don't care about the seller experience as much as they say they do on a lot of these celebrations and the monthly check-ins. By the way, I don't get invited to anymore. Wonder why? It's not because they care about the seller experience. Yeah, maybe if you're selling in one of these high-end categories, right? But if you're just a common seller, eBay doesn't really, they're just going to give you what you need, but not enough to succeed. Okay. And if they were really serious about growing our businesses the way we want to, they would give us the tools so we don't have to make these phone calls. So we don't have to be dealing with warnings and suspensions. I pulled up just a ton of different videos on the topic of eBay suspension, and there's too many. Okay. There's just too many, and it could be avoided if eBay did their part. Antiquated programming or not, if they just stepped in and fixed their platform, there's so many things that they can fix. I mean, look at all the extra fees we're spending. Ever since promoted listings have been implemented, we went from 12.75% after all their shenanigans to now it's at least, if you're doing it right, 2% to sometimes 20% for some people. That's 15 to 30%, maybe 30 something percent on every sale, and they've provided us nothing more, but yet in for some people almost doubling their fees. So it's frustrating to me, and it shouldn't be that way, and I don't know how to fix it. So maybe you guys have some suggestions, but unless eBay is listening and they actually really do, someone up there in corporate really does care about the seller experience, they really need to start investing in things like this, simple things that can help us improve our selling experience. So that's all I'm going to say on that. But again, I get kind of fired up because none of this should happen, whether it's me or anyone else, even if just a warning that you get or a Vero violation that you get. And all you're doing is trying to resell under the first sale doctrine, right? You shouldn't be put in that position. So, but want to say, of course, we got Biscuit Butt, who was here early, want to be the first to comment. And then Buddy Mike says, nice job. I guess I beat him in too. And Prosser was late today, huh?
Wow.
He had to get some coffee. Let's see. We got Michelle Murnick in the house. She finally made it live.
Yay.
Thanks, Michelle. Nicholas Tracy's in the house. Rule is simple. I have learned that I am an eBay employee. They're like a frugal lord, more than a home for small business. Can't wait to be done this year. And it's sad that you feel that way. I mean, really.
Yeah, you should never be made to feel that way.
You know,
working for a company.
Look, the only thing that's keeping me here on eBay is the traffic. Okay, if there was another site that was a true competitor to eBay, then I maybe cross list, but I mean, really, my focus would be somewhere else. Unfortunately, I mean, as long as the traffic's here, it's like going to, it's like having a swap meet set up in just a bad area of town. Is like if they put the swap meet like in the nicer end of town, maybe I'd go there, but there isn't one. This is the only place I can sell my wares. Now, of course, I can do Mercari and Poshmark, but if I want to sell at 1/10 the rate that I sell on eBay, then I guess I can stay there. But Yeah, it shouldn't be. You shouldn't feel the way you feel, though. I think that if there's money to be made, and there is money to be made, if you have the stuff to sell, then you shouldn't have to worry about these just random things that pop up all the time, and just be able to sell the stuff that you want to sell. And if there's a problem with it, then just tell me up front. I can't sell it. Michelle says, wonder if John has been reinstated. I have. I was reinstated last night. I was able to launch a couple listings last night to test it after, an hour after she said it would be done. But just the items, I guess when you're suspended and you're brought back, your items get trickled back in slowly. So it's almost like you just might as well have just waited, right?
Yeah.
But even then, it makes me wonder after the third day, okay, they hit the button. Now you're suspended for 3 days, but in reality, it's another day because it's going to take that long to get your items back up. So anytime you're in that position where you're suspended and they lift the suspension or your third day is up and you can see your items, go in and end everything, okay? And what you should first do is clear all your ended items. So if you have any previously ended items, before you end anything, go into your previously ended items, go in and remove them all. So you cannot see them in the unsolds, okay? So go into your actual listed items that nobody can see and just delist everything. Just go in and end item, do a select all, and then just end all, okay? And it's kind of scary when you do that, but you'll go back into your ended listings, you'll select all of those, and there should be a button up at the top that says sell similar. You'll sell similar for all those items. Just launch them, okay? Now, the reason why you do that is it immediately treats those as new listings, and you don't have to wait for eBay to trickle those listings back into your account showing for sale, okay? It's just a regular, 5 minutes, 10 minutes after you launch it, it'll be shown to everyone. Also, every listing is going to be treated as a new listing in the algorithm, and it gets a little boost. I sold a couple items I've been sitting on for a little while over the last few hours, and I'm sure it's because of that, So just if you find yourself in that spot, that's kind of what you want to do. BXX32 says, I tell you, John, I'm getting more and more fed up. The amount of deadbeat non-payers running amok on eBay, just getting absurd. I'm so sick and tired of best offer period. eBay, wake up. Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting right now on an offer I took on the 21st on Saturday at 11 a.m. Now I don't know if this is the deadbeat buyer or if this person had a problem buying my item. I haven't heard back from them, but I sold a pet safe stay and play wireless fence. I had it for $149 plus shipping. They made an offer for $127 plus shipping, and I accepted it. I was happy to accept it. I was only into it for like $45, and crickets. So I don't know if that's what it is. I sold a Brighton necklace that we've had up for a while, and that was a couple hours ago. So I'm hopeful that they're going to follow through with their payment. But yeah, I hear you. It's frustrating, but you just know you're not the only one that it's happening to. Mike says, hi, John and Jenna. Glad to see that you're back in business. Just check your store. Your listings are all active. Sell on. Yeah. And I don't know if I would have all my listings active if I hadn't done the end everything right and relist it. Let's see. Processors in the house. Let's see. We have Tyler's Trading Post. Well, I ain't made any sales for 2 weeks, but I'm looking out for more stock. Well, you can always try our little hack that we have. You can hit the like button, and it's worked for many, many people. You hit that like button, you get a sale within 24 hours. And of course, I charge you nothing for that advice, and I'm offering you a full refund if it doesn't work. Yeah, Archie was waiting for my rant about eBay suspending them.
Well, he already heard the rant.
But the rant's on the other video. It is what it is. I can't control what eBay's done to me
all day long, but yeah, there's nothing. When your hands are tied, your hands are tied.
I mean, I could sit here and keep telling you what I told you in the other video, that it shouldn't have happened, but I'm not going to waste your time. It's more to me about the bigger underlying problem. Forget what I did or didn't do. The underlying problem is eBay, and they just, it's funny. They'll jump at a dime if they'll see their competitor like Whatnot succeeding with like online instant auctions. Oh, well, we need to invest the money in that right now. I don't know if they're going to continue doing that or not, because that was a hot topic that they were doing last year. But why not you just fix your platform first before you try to be someone else? Okay. It's just trying to keep up with the Joneses when you have all kinds of dysfunctionality going on in your own, within your own organization, and they need to really get that straight first before they come with anything else. Prosser says it's been a slow week, got to say, but I'm not worried yet. Savage Pickers is in the house, so thank you for being here with us today. Savage Pickers is also dealing with slow sales the last few days.
How was dinner? I hope you enjoyed.
Truman Hare says, hello all, hoping for good news from John. Yeah, it's good news. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah,
I'm glad this happened. I am absolutely glad this happened. Sometimes you have to actually go through stuff to realize things. Okay. To realize, again, I'm not going to go into this whole thing about how great you guys are, because it's just the way it is. You guys are great. To realize, I knew it, but to just confirm that, that's kind of what it did for me. I knew how difficult and bad eBay was. I knew that, but this confirmed that. You have to go through stuff. And if you're not learning from bad experiences, that's a lost opportunity.
It's not just eBay, it's life in general. If you don't have there's always a lesson in everything.
Right. And guess what? If I get suspended in 2 years from now for something else or whatever, I'm going to have a better idea how to better handle the situation than I did, and get back up and running faster. Jovial Juggler says, happy National Better Business Communication Day. Oh boy, we got some incoming. Hold on, let me go. Thank you, Jovial. You guys don't have to do that. Look, I do what I do because of you guys. This is all, and look, the argument can be made like, oh, you're just saying that. You're just another YouTuber that makes money. Yes, the channel makes some money. Okay. And trying to grow the channel. Anybody that has a channel should try to grow it to try to have another. It's no different than me trying to sell my stuff on Mercari or Poshmark. It's another revenue stream. But I don't look at the revenue is just a side benefit. Again, I did this for months without any kind of money coming in from anything. It was the goal of trying to help people, and it continues to be that.
It will always be that.
I've even actually entertained the idea of going back into the workforce for certain jobs that allowed me to do what I did before, that I'm doing now, I guess, that would actually make me more money. But it's not about the money. I'm just trying to get, believe me, I'm not a rich guy. I don't drive anything. I drive a decent car, good car, but I don't go out and look for the newest Tesla and try to brag about, the place that I live and all that. So Tyler, thank you. I mean, Jovial Juggler, thank you for, doing that. Certainly it is appreciated. You guys don't have to give us any money to show us your support. We
already know it's there.
Yeah, it's just the kind words.
You guys make it very clear.
I mean, you guys don't even realize the feeling when you see that word of encouragement, on either an email, even reaching out on my store, on either one of my stores, or just the comments. It means a lot, and I just want you guys to know that. And
God, why am I so emotional?
Mark, you don't have to do that. So let's
God,
thank you, Mark. I appreciate you. I appreciate SM postcards.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. So we're back at National Better Business Communication Day, and it's sad that you have to say that. It's sad that you have to.
No, he does this every.
No, but it's true. It's sad that you have to say that because eBay could do better. Well,
it's sad that there's a day for it.
Let's see. Process says it's like the last week of the month, and I always have slow sales at this time, as I think everyone's skint till next paycheck on the first. It could. You very well may be. They may have went out and bought some eggs, and they couldn't afford anything else. So, I mean, I went to the store yesterday. I have eggs, and I walked by, and I'm like, well,
How
guess
much
what?
Were they? Do you know?
They're like They're like about $8 or $9 for the dozen. Drew,
Wow.
oh gee,
then I really should have enjoyed my egg sandwich I had today.
You guys,
what the heck? You guys are.
Drew just sent me a dozen eggs. Thank you. Oh, guys. Thank you. Really, I really mean it. Thank you.
You guys are the best.
Kevin says, good evening from Lakeland, Florida. Let's see. Biscuit butt for John. It's Nation K from eBay. Save the day. Yeah. Yep. She did. And that's not her real name, by the way. I was pretty good about not slipping. I think I had to edit the video once when I actually said her name. I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I sees in the house. Hi, John and Jenna. Saw the recently probably easier said than done. Never let your yesterday take away from you today. Still looking for the magic switch on me that can turn off that stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
You never know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Like I said, some people can walk away saying, I never want to go through that again. And I really don't, but I'm glad I went through it because, it got me out to the golf course. I didn't have to work.
Yes, even before this happened, I told him, I said, I would like you to take Sunday off and do whatever you want to do, whether it's lay in bed and play golf games all day or go golfing or just do something. Don't do eBay. And then this happened. And he's like, well, I guess I'm going to be taking Sunday off. So. And
I was looking for every excuse to come home. I was on the 8th hole and I said to myself, if I don't birdie this hole, and I'm not a good golfer at all, guys, I'm going home after 9. I'm just going to go home, go buy this yard sale, get the guys other stuff that I was looking at, and go home and just work. I almost eagled the hole. And then on the next hole, I get that message, and that's nobody's fault, but I get the message from eBay. It's an eBay message. I look at it, and it's someone saying, hey, your stuff's still not up. And I started thinking about eBay again and not what I was doing. And I hit the ball in the water, and I said, okay. My mind's not going to be focused on what I'm doing. So, I thanked them and said, hey, I'm out after 9 holes. And maybe I'm just weird that way, right? I've never really been one to not want to play golf, but I'm more focused now on my business and just trying to get things right, that type of thing. So it is what it is. But we have the disgruntled octopus in the house. Thanks for being here. Bling Bling Factor Australia. Carolyn is in the house. Sherry Miller. Vintage Memories, Sell Similar, Total Fresh Start. Mm-hmm. Yep. Totally. The Flippin' Sports Guy. I haven't noticed any flickering. You know what was happening is you may not have noticed the flickering, but it's this camera we have, this webcam. It's changes the lighting in the video.
It kept making us like muted, like the color muted. And
it was driving me nuts.
It was driving me crazy.
Yeah. So, I'm always trying to do new things, and let's use a blue light, a green light, a red light. Let's use a different light as long as it doesn't affect anyone negatively. So Jennifer V says, hi, John and Jenna, finally tuning in live. We have Tommy making me want to slip into something more comfortable. I'm just relieved that you're actually now dressed for the show. That's I know. Great. Biff Boffo says, I didn't know health and beauty was such a minefield of euros.
Oh, it is a landfill.
Yeah, and the thing that's a landfill? Landfill is full
landfill.
Landmine.
Minefield. Minefield.
Yeah.
Landmine is what I meant.
Well, here's the thing. Health and beauty is really
we actually have sold a lot of health and beauty.
What's happening here? Oh, hold on. We got some incoming.
Wait.
Got to say thank you. Anytime picker, thanks. I know I feel as I've suspended 2 times before. Thanks for sharing your experience. No, thank you for being here, listen to me rant. I appreciate that. And of course, I see. Thank you. I certainly appreciate you. Too. Oh no, which one?
It's blue.
Blue?
Yeah.
Mark again. The first was for Jenna. This one's for John. Oh, that's great.
You guys are funny.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You guys are the best.
Again, it's never expected. So thank you guys. But what I was saying is with health and beauty, it really is in my opinion, one of the most optimal categories that you can sell when times are rough. Okay.
Yeah, we've sold a lot.
It's-
That's all we used to buy in the pallets for a little while there is
Yeah.
we were getting such good deals on just health and beauty pallets that's what we most of our store was at one time.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, you're helping people. The tag on that mouthwash was $404.
$404
Okay.
for mouthwash.
Okay. Now selling new on eBay, $79.99. I was just selling it for $59.99, right? That was the goal. And you know, someone out there needs that kind of stuff and they can't afford to spend $400 on it. Okay. Acne cream, you know, that Proactive. Somebody out there actually needs that stuff. They've got a problem. Okay. And giving them, you know, a deal on something like that they'd have to go spend money on retail. Those kind of items, you know, razors, everyday personal care, things that eBay's not dinging you for. These are all things that people are looking for every day. And that category is really important. But, you know, for me, my thing is it really worth, you know, you might have 100 items that are perfect, and that 101st item that you decide that, well, I've sold before, and you list it and everyone else is selling it and you get hit. It's just not worth it. And shame on eBay for not taking the safeguards out and blocking us if there's a problem before there's a problem. Andy Reno's in the house from Indiana. Thank you, Andy, for being here. Craig Winans really noticed the light flickering. Yeah, I'm sure it would have got more noticeable as it gets darker here. It's right now 3:40 p.m.
It's pretty cloudy too.
Yeah, it's just going to enhance the craziness behind us. So that's why I shut it off.
Tommy threw away all the wash.
Tommy threw all of his mouthwash away from his house. I didn't know he used mouthwash. But getting better and better. He's getting dressed and he's using mouthwash.
Well, he's not anymore. He threw it away.
Biscuit Butt says, Tommy, you can slip into my arms, big boy.
Oh my gosh.
That's a horrible thought. Raul's in the house, made it to the live. Thanks, Raul, for being here. And you're right. We're nothing, not even a pimple on eBay's backside. If every one of us right now in this live stream was to just call it quits, it wouldn't be a blip on eBay's radar. Yeah. In fact, I think they'd be happy if I quit because that's one less person.
I am convinced they have his store name on all of their computers.
I don't know. You know, someone.
You know,
I don't think, you know, someone said, oh, you think you're that important. You know,
no, it's like, not about importance. It's that he calls them out on their BS every time. Was that a sale?
Mm-hmm. I wanted it to be louder, but yeah. I didn't get that to change.
He calls them out on their BS and they don't like it. That's it.
And we got Picky Ricky in the house. Hi, all. Just been given a negative feedback. I don't think the buyer liked me not refunding him without a return. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
And I mean, at this point, you can hit them up and say, just open a return. And after you accept the return, it'll go away. But you know what? It ain't that big of a deal. It ain't the end of the world. You don't have to have 100% feedback to succeed on eBay. I'm sure all of us are going to, you know, encounter that one buyer who wants to keep your item. And, you know, I had one that said in their feedback that the shoes that I sold, one of the, I'll say it here, Velcro, I can say it, Velcro. I can't do it on eBay. The Velcro was loose. And she said that in the feedback, the shoes were worthless. Okay.
Yeah.
So reached out, said, you know, hey, open a return, that type of thing, you know, be glad to take your return. And she came back, no, that's fine. You know, I'm like, then why are you leaving that kind of, you know, she said, we're going to use them anyway. So then you lied in your feedback.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, just talking back and forth. They
worked just fine when we shipped them before we, you know, when we inspected them.
So back and forth with the buyer, and they agreed to remove the feedback. I guess they felt bad, you know, so, hey, good. So communicate with the buyer. I think that's important. But it's funny that, you know, came across you, Picky Ricky, because someone bought an item from me. It's a set of nesting crates. They're, of course, nesting means that they fit inside each other, right? It's in the title. And so someone by the name of Tricky Ricky bought them. And of course, guess what happens? 10 minutes after the sale, they come back and say, I just want to make sure these are all the same size. Please tell me that they are. And I came back, I said, it says nesting. That means they have to be different sizes to fit within each other. And I have the dimensions for each one of these in the item description. I haven't heard back from them
Here's your sign.
So I'm waiting for the cancellation request. It's beyond an hour. So now they're going to come back and say, cancel. I don't want it. Yeah. So at first I thought it was Picky Ricky. Why? I'm like, why is Picky Ricky? Picky Ricky buying something from my store. That's nice of you. And then I'm like, wait, that's Tricky Ricky. I said, no, that's not the same guy.
Nope.
Mad Hatter's Boutique. OC in the house. Hey, John and Jenna, sorry for the woes. Happens. Yes, it does happen. And you know what? You just got to learn from it. And the saying, what doesn't kill us, what is it?
Makes us stronger.
Yeah, makes us stronger. I could have said something else. I'm sure it would have been the same. And then there's much love for Archie. Keena's in the house.
Hi, Keena.
And
welcome to eBay Anonymous.
Hey, Keena, welcome to eBay Anonymous. Yes, I am an eBay seller. You have to admit it.
My name is Jenna.
Yeah. Picky Ricky, you can get that removed most likely. I mean, it's worth a try. Don't, try dealing with the customer and then try the feedback dispute.
He responded in the run.
I used the request remove feedback option on eBay. No guessing. I lost. I have to ring them tomorrow and try again. Yeah, but it isn't what it was, say, 10 years ago. It's not as important.
It's not as important.
Biff Boffo says maybe one day AI will replace customer service lines and actually improve the user experience.
You never know. That's a possibility.
Well, you got this AI. I mean, wouldn't it be cool if AI? But the problem is, okay, the problem is with AI, it's going to be more scripted than the person that's answering the phone is already. Okay, because here are the policies. And there's no gray area. It's either black or white. Either you violated the policy or you didn't. Now, if it could reason the way it sort of reasons that, hey, I never violated, the policy, okay, at least 2 times, 2 warnings should never have happened, then, can it reason with you? And if it gets to that level where it can distinguish, you know what, you're right. And, so I've click that button and now the AI is saying, okay, now it is back to this level. I don't even know with a human if I'm back to the level that I was. She said to me,
can answer that question.
She said to me that if it happens again, then I'm gonna be suspended again for 3 days. I said, isn't it 7? She's all, well, normally, but because I took it away. But why can't you take those other warnings away? That shouldn't have been there. That's the problem that I have.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anytime Picker says Picky Ricky, you have to call them. That feedback option on eBay doesn't work for all feedback removals. Yeah. But I got to tell you, from my experience in calling, they will go in and fill out that form on your behalf anyway. On their side, it's the same form. At least that's what they tell me. And I figure, you know what? Nobody can tell your side of the story better than you, because it's one of those things. Have you ever played that phone game or that game where you talk to your neighbor and you tell them a story about something and they're supposed to tell 10 other people. And by the time it gets to the 10th person, the story's changed. Like it's not even the same characters. The story's just changed outright. And so every time you get someone involved in your story and have to submit, what happened on your behalf, it's never going to be the same as the story or the facts that you have. And so it's, in my opinion, better to just go that route. Picky Ricky said, I accused him of removing parts on Pioneer's high-end CD players. I said the last person that did not him. Yeah. And in fact, what's probably happened is they probably did that. They probably gutted out your unit and now want to return it and are blaming it on you. Let's see here. Savage Picker says eBay for Business has been a little slow at getting back to you. They're helpful though. They can be, but when you're dealing with a suspension over the weekend, sort of like getting thrown in jail on a Friday, you're not going to get seen by the judge until Monday, that type of thing. And I think that's what eBay for Business is. Not good on a weekend. Keena says, Jenna, you look very nice today. Hair looks great.
Thank you.
Rosie Games is in the house. Hi, John and Jenna.
Hi.
Let's see. Bill York is in the house. Why doesn't eBay have a spokesman or channel or YouTube explain their policies?
Because that's too much to ask.
You know, they do have a channel, but you know, they just want to dumb it down. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I think if you ask some of these people, even the ones that come up on these seller programs, what do they tell you half the time? You ask them a really, really good question, and they say, "Let me get back to my team, IT team, or whatever team, and we'll get back to you." Okay, that's because they don't know. So I really think that unfortunately, there's some people on eBay that know, but those are the folks that are really in these specialty departments in the US, like Kay that I spoke to. And, you know, unless you're getting someone like that, you're never going to be able to get your questions answered 100%. KHH says, hey, quick question. Wondering if I start selling on Amazon, do I set my prices on my stuff or Amazon doesn't? No, you set your prices. So you got to, in fact, some people use a repricer. It's a program that plugs into your account and constantly keeps an eye on your prices, and you set the parameters to price your items accordingly. So it's a really tough game. Now, let me just say this. Now that you mentioned Amazon, had this happen on Amazon, I would be SOL. There'd be nobody I'd be able to speak to. So, I mean, at least we have that. I mean, a lot of people will say, you know, if you sell on Amazon, it's even tougher. And they're right, because you're talking about the bucket. Well, okay, so we're just a drop in the bucket, right? For eBay, something happens, no big deal. Well, on Amazon, you're a drop in the swimming pool or in the ocean. That's how small you are as a seller. So thankfully, eBay isn't there yet, but it's getting worse in my opinion. Says Michelle, says John and Jenna, I need you to list some more women's size 8s, please. LOL. Actually, it's funny.
I just sold some this morning.
I just listed on my my other account, our other account, Hot Desert Deals.
It's funny you say that because I wear size 8, so I usually have first pick.
Yeah. Lilac Seller says, hey all, how you doing?
But we'll work on it.
Anytime Picker says, John, you did good job talking to them. Well, thank you. I mean, again, it's just knowing, you know, what you can and can't say and trying to be as firm as possible without crossing the line, because sometimes I think you can get frustrated and start, you know, implying things or making it personal for them. And sometimes you're like, I've had reps do this before. You're upset at eBay. Okay. You're upset at eBay and eBay's policies, and the rep will start taking it personally. Well, I didn't say that. I didn't tell you that when you called in. Okay. First of all, just know when you answer the phone, you are eBay.
You are eBay.
Okay. You're not Sally Smith from Oklahoma. You are eBay. And when you're on that phone and I'm upset about my interaction with eBay, well, you're eBay. You are taking on the role of eBay. So you got to kind of remind them sometimes.
You have to remove your feelings when you're on the other side of that phone. I cannot tell you or stress to you how awful people are. People are mean and rude and disrespectful in ways you can never even imagine.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and they get really nasty.
I'm telling you, what you heard, that was
mild. That was a dream.
That was good compared to what I've had to endure at times.
KH&H says, I have 3 sea shipping containers full of collectibles like brand new Legos and Transformers and comic books. Want to start selling, but worried about scams. eBay and Amazon always sides with the buyers. They do. But it's such a small number. So maybe out of every 100 transactions, you may have one that gives you a hard time. And even smaller number than that for someone who does a chargeback. So if you've got money to make, don't let that hold you back. Okay?
Yeah, just do it.
Or send hit me up at flippingainteasy2020@gmail.com and arrange to send those things my way, and I'll sell them for you. Or I'll sell them for me, and I'll make you a deal on the whole bundle. Mark Sedek says, eBay customer service sucks. They never should sub out to third-party call centers. Also, managed payments is bad, and the fees have gone way too high. They don't care that. And I get what you're saying. So, of course, here's the thing. They're not getting more buyers. They're not getting more sellers. They're not making more revenue organically. So they have to find a way to get it from, guess who? You and I, as sellers. And that ain't going to change until they make it to where it's impossible to make a profit. And they just, only the top sellers are making money. Now, maybe that's their plan. Maybe that's their plan, is to make it so unbearable for the average person to make money on eBay that they just drive people out. Maybe that's their plan. And then, when they have the folks that they want selling their watches and their sneakers and their, whatever they're promoting at the time, maybe that's what eBay is going to be happy with. But I just think of it as a bad business model. Find ways to get more people on the platform, find ways to keep your buyers, find ways to keep your sellers. And I don't see how you couldn't grow your business. It just makes sense to me. Maybe it's because it makes sense. That's why they're not doing it. Michelle Mernick says, John, you were way nicer to the reps than I would have been. Can't control my tongue when they try to placate me with lies.
That's why I said I'm so glad he's the one that does the talking.
Yeah. And Bill York says, is this a negative on your account or not? So it's like, from what she said, it's like this incident on Saturday never happened. Like I never listed that item. So I still have the other warnings hanging over my head. If I list that again or something similar to that again, then I'm dealing with another 3-day deal. Now, the question I wish I would have asked, of all the questions that I didn't ask, is how long does this hang over my head? Is it 6 months? Is it a year? Is it forever, for the life of the account? Is it for all of my accounts? Right. So maybe it's worth making a call. I don't want to talk to them, but I mean, it's a question that's in the back of my mind, because again, account health should be important to you. This is up for debate. I'm sure Tommy will tell me that there's no way, shape, or form that this is the case. But in the back of my mind, I really think that your account health, and all the little dings that are the flags that are the backroom people put on you, has a small effect on your account. Now, if you're selling stuff, great stuff, you're not going to notice it as much as someone who's selling kind of borderline okay stuff. Prosser says, John was really giving the call center people the I know what you're doing talk. Yeah, I know when they hit the mute button. I know when they hit the mute button. And they do that so that it doesn't drive up their hold stats, right?
We have seen it all.
Oh, yeah. You hit the mute button and you talk to your neighbor like, I got a real idiot on the line, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I remember one time when I was really young and like 3 years on the job, and I was taking frontline calls, and I hit that mute button, but I double tapped it, and I turned to my neighbor and I said, idiot. And the customer said, what was that? Uh-oh. So yeah. So got to smooth that one over, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they do that, and it's just the way it works. So I know all the ins and outs of it for sure. Keena says, sorry, John, I fell asleep during your live the other night when you suspended, but my husband watched the entire show. Wow. I guess.
Hey, he makes me fall asleep sometimes too.
Art says, hello, got my like button sale.
Woo!
That's how you do it. Hit that like button, guys. Here's the thing. I don't have to rush on Mondays anymore. I mean, I'm not going to make this a 2-hour live stream either, but I don't have to rush because, well, I can't say anymore. At least this week.
This week. Yeah, I was like, anymore? What do you...
I hurt my arm bowling, and really to the point where it was the same injury that I had last year where I had to stop bowling for like 8 months. And I'm like 90% sure I'm just done after almost 30 years of bowling, sad as that is. So we'll see, but I don't know if I'm going to go back on Mondays. Trombley's Treasuries, did your store pick right back up, or are they going to bury your listings for a while? Pretty good. I mean, so far.
Since he did the sell similar, he ended them in sell similar. I think that had everything to do with them being seen, all of them being seen now.
Biscuit Butt says, and I think he's saying this in jest, but I overheard Chat GPT is being outsourced to the Philippines. You know what? I that would be great, because if they know how to use it, at least they can get an answer. KH&H says, used to sell on eBay, but stopped. Too much scammers, says never arrived or not as described. I stopped years ago. But see, here's the thing. If a scammer says never arrived, right, you have tracking to back you up. Mm-hmm. If, someone can say not as described, but most people are honest. So I think what we do is sometimes we tend to think of that bad experience that we had about a buyer, and we tend to, now it kind of makes us gun shy to do what we need to do, right? And honestly, if you're getting scammers, that means you're getting sales. It means you are hitting enough sales where you're going to get that very low percentage of the buyer who's willing to scam you. And if you're making good money doing what you're doing, then you could refund, in theory, could refund those people, get them out of your life, and you're still going to make money. So if you really have some good stuff, 3 containers full of stuff, get those things up. Don't just make excuses as to, well, I don't want to be scammed.
Yeah, and you'd be so surprised. I mean, maybe way back when, I don't know how long ago you were selling, but we honestly don't get scammers very often at all. And we sell a lot of everything, which leaves us open to possible scammers. So
yeah. And Damon, the big dog, says, do you have to put those questionable items on Mercari and Bonanza? I may, or I may just not. I don't know.
I think he said, I'm just ready to just throw it away.
It's not worth it. It's like, okay, fine. I could make $30, but I mean, is it worth worrying and what the next site's
maybe I'll use it.
What that? I don't know. It's like one of those mouthwashes someone says before you go into surgery. I think it kills everything.
I don't need that.
It might even take some layers off your teeth. I don't know. But Silver Bushman says, heads up, be careful you don't record in state that needs constant consent, you mean? Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not using, it's more for, that's why I covered the names. I made sure that the names, these are just voices, right? It's not anything that could be used against anyone personally. If I would have said, okay, Sally Smith, was the person on the phone, and now I'm going to use this in litigation or something. But no, this is more of a training thing. It's more training. It's not to throw anyone out there or anyone's name out there, but let's be 100% honest. Mm-hmm. I mean, I blocked the names that they gave on those recordings, but who really thinks when they're calling the Philippines that they're getting Bob on the line? I mean, do you really think you're getting Bob on the line when he answers the phone?
You might get a Karen, but is that really her name?
That's not really their name. And I think I had a conversation with a rep one time about that. It's like, really? Okay. Anytime Picker says, Tommy is always helpful. He told me to remove all my listings with shoes because I can't ship them internationally. GT says, hi, John and Jenna. You have got me through so many issues on eBay. I appreciate you guys. Hang in there. You got this. Thank you. I think that's good. That's good to hear. We like hearing those kind of things. Tyler says, if no one buys for 2 weeks, does that mean I'm doing something wrong? Here's what I'd say, Tyler. Right now, go in and, like I said, remove all your ended items so you don't get them mixed up with those. If you have any ended items under the ended drop down, it says ended. And then go in and take all your active listings and go ahead and end or delete them. And then go back into your ended where those went and go back in and highlight all of them and sell similar. And it'll treat all those listings as a new listing. And you get a small boost in search for the first 48 hours.
I would do. I mean, I would obviously, if 2 weeks went by and we didn't sell anything, I would be panicking.
But of course, you got to hit the like button to make that work. So just try that out and let me know how that works. KH&H, Picky Ricky, thanks for your advice. So one Lego set for $3,500, got scammed by drop shippers from China, ruined my whole year. They refused to send it back. Visa gave them money back, ruined the whole year. So don't ship to China. Don't ship to don't ship internationally on some of those. If there's truly a market for that set, depends on what your cost is. If your cost is, $2,000, then you're hard pressed to really make anything unless someone's willing to pay that kind of money. But
set yourself up for success by limiting the countries that you ship to, because that alone should weed out a lot of those scamming people in other countries. I mean, I'm not saying everybody does that, but in general, cut down the chances of a scammer.
I mean, your next door neighbor could be a scammer.
Yeah, you just never know. I mean,
Josh says, I learned the last time I got suspended, can't keep all your eggs in one basket. You're right. That's why, I do my little Prime Lister thing where I we cross post to Poshmark and Mercari, that type of thing. I'll spare you the advertisement, but we do cross post. Amazon seller 99 says, hi guys, you got your account back finally. Yes. And that was definitely a fun learning experience. Silver Bushman, understanding is key for support. Yes. Biscuit says, I need a size 2 sparkly shoe for a baby party this weekend and couldn't buy in your store.
Birthday
so I was pissed.
Party, not a baby. Birthday.
You say birthday?
B-day.
B-day party. Okay. Looks like a baby party. Like, okay,
come
Archie.
on over here so I can kick you with that size 2 sparkly boot.
Time Traveler Chest. Hi, John and Jenna. You have the best attitude, which goes a long way. You all the best. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, what's getting upset going to do? I mean, it does. Yeah, you get upset, right? Nobody here can say that they didn't get upset. Maybe inside we're like, damn, this sucks. But, you got to look at it as, okay, what's the best way? Here I'm here now. Getting upset's not going to fix that. What's the best way to move forward? And so for me, it was calling, getting someone in that department, giving them a chance to help me, and then, doing whatever I knew worked in the past, and that didn't work. So it was okay. Now it's time to get someone from the US on the line, because these false promises of them having a supervisor call me back, don't fall for that ever, because that doesn't work. They just want you off the phone.
Now we're on day 4 of day 3.
Mm-mm.
They're not calling back.
Not calling back. Mark says the sellers we need to all leave eBay. Enough is enough. F them. And that's just it though. If all of us left,
believe me, but if we all, so 152 people, if we all left eBay, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care.
Yeah, just not.
That's the sad part of a big company.
And people say we should go on strike. We should do this. We should do that. But all you're doing is going on strike if someone takes your sales.
They're going to keep making sales, making their money.
No, the key thing is to hope that there's somebody, because this is all you can do, is to hope that there's somebody from eBay out there that really, really cares about the seller experience and really, really understands where we're coming from. Like this whole, nobody should ever get a Vero. Nobody should ever get an over-the-counter drug policy warning. It shouldn't even get that far. No. eBay, like I said, eBay has shown that it is possible to block listings. If you have like mahogany, you can't ship that to whatever country. Again, if you have, misrepresented your item condition in the item condition box, and it doesn't jive with the new condition, you just said it was used, they're going to block you from listing that. So why stop there? That's the only, I don't want to repeat what I said earlier, but why stop there, eBay? You have the technology to stop us from hurting ourselves and helping us as sellers, so we don't have to bombard you with all this stuff, and yet you don't use it. Shame on eBay. Hopefully someone from eBay is watching and understand. I want to see a better platform. I don't want to crap on eBay every time I get on this the video. It makes for good videos, I guess, but you know what? I just want to be able.
Every time he gets off the phone with eBay, he's like, "Oh, well, got another topic."
Yeah,
we don't necessarily want that. We want to come to you saying, "Oh, guess what eBay did for us?"
Yeah.
And something that was great. We don't want to come to you.
I don't want
all of this BS.
eBay doesn't want us to call, and we don't want to call them. Okay, they're not on our Christmas list.
No.
But we want to work in harmony. Look. eBay shouldn't be eBay themselves. The people that work at eBay should never be a part of your sales process. Okay. It should all be automated through the software. The moment it requires you to reach out to them, there's a problem. Okay. And even if you're doing something wrong, there should be something stopping you within the software. It shouldn't be someone having to interpret a policy that isn't there for you to see. It's not that hard, eBay. Okay. It really isn't. It just frustrates me, because when you deal with corporate, I used to deal with corporate all the time at the company that I work for. You guys know, and it's half of it's common sense. It's not rocket science, many times the people from corporate don't even understand that's an issue, because they're not getting that information. Anytime Picker says, I was suspended before board games for 3 days that eBay claimed was counterfeit, and later on I won that case, was able to list it again.
Wow.
How do they know it's counterfeit?
How do you
did you sell a Monopoly without Boardwalk or something, or what?
That is absurd.
Process says, John, do you ask Kay for her direct dial number to save the runaround? No, but I told her, I said, because she's like, no, if you have a question about an item, all you got to do is ask, call. We'll be glad to tell you. I said, that's great. But the rep that told me yesterday said I could sell this item.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to, I said, Kay, I can't call you again. I'm never going to speak to you again. Chances are very low that I'll get you on the phone again when I have this problem. So, okay, I do what you tell me to, and I list it because they say, no, it's not on our list, and I get suspended. You know, that's not right. Drew, hi guys, glad I caught you live. Well, thank you, Drew, for being here with us today. And I know I'm way behind. I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah, we need to hop to it.
Anyone in Canada can help me, please sell my Legos for over 500,000 USD for sure, 3 million or more at least in value of Superman. Wow. Well,
wow, you're sitting on a gold mine.
Yeah, it's time to move to the US.
She's not able to sell because she was in an accident.
It's time to find a consignment.
Not sell. She's not able to work.
It's time to find a consignment that can sell this for you. There's some consignment businesses that would be happy to take your containers and merchandise and take care of it for you. Let's see if I can try to scroll down here and get to some more questions here. I know I don't want to skip a lot of your comments, but IC says, my experience in retail online sales back office customer service, always handle issues professionally, often comes back to bite you otherwise. Bottom line, reps have to care. They are often rare. Yeah, but the thing is, you could tell them, we want you to give the best customer service, and you could train the heck out of them. And they're, at the end of the day, especially if I don't know if eBay has union protection. I doubt those jobs in the Philippines do. So you can tell that it's disingenuous when they keep saying things that are too happy, like every sentence. And it's like, okay, you can tone it down a little bit. But it's not the words, it's the actions, right? It's let me do that. I understand. I hear what you're saying, and this shouldn't have happened. Let me see what I can do. If someone said that to me, and actually it sounded like they're trying to help me, they just couldn't, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, you'd be surprised at how you can calm somebody down so quickly by saying, let me help you. I will do blank to take care of this situation for you.
Right.
It can change that customer's complete image of the company, of the phone call, of their experience, if you can turn it around just by saying a few key words.
Right. In my department, I work for in one of the departments of the customer service department. It's where the escalated calls go, where the people were pissed off, I want to speak to your supervisor calls go. And you had to learn that when they got on the line, it's like, I understand you're upset, and I understand this is happening. I'm going to do everything that I can to try to make this right. I can't promise you anything, but just know that I'm going to give you every bit of effort to make this right. And that calms people down.
It really takes them to another level. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I've been screamed at coming onto the line.
Yeah.
And then they're screaming, and you're trying to take in what they're upset about. And then all you have to do is, I will do whatever it is. I will go in, I will look at this for you.
Without telling them something, just
don't
to get them
tell
off
them
the
to
line.
calm down. Don't tell them.
But you don't want to tell
sorry,
them.
This is happening to you. They don't want to hear you apologize. They want to hear you say, I'm going to take action.
Right. And you don't want to tell them something that ain't going to happen either, just to get them off your line. That's another tactic that these reps do. Like, the promises of having a supervisor call me back. Oh yeah. They're just on the other line right now. They'll get back to you tonight. Well, I mean, okay, so I'm going to stay up waiting for this call.
Monday.
And they know, like, look, I don't care if they call back. I'm not going to get this person again anyway. That's the mentality of these reps, unfortunately.
They probably took vacation for the next week anyway. So
Cassandra Justison says, to be honest, there's a portion of eBay sellers that were very active in getting themselves suspended by willfully ignoring the rules and policies. I agree with that. I agree with that. But again, if you have safeguards in place to protect these sellers from themselves, or like myself from myself, then you would create an environment where we really wouldn't need to call eBay, because it's not going to allow us to launch the listing. And it's the technology's there.
If they have a list, there's no reason why it cannot be listed within the policies somewhere.
Dante Rosa says, a few weeks ago, eBay suspended my account permanently for security reasons. By the way, my account was only open for 2 months. I haven't done anything wrong in those 2 months. No reason for that. I saw another video where they didn't answer their phone, and eBay just wanted to verify their information. And they finally, after being suspended, contacted eBay and said, all we need is your information. And they unsuspended them. So maybe that's part of it, but
that's terrible.
But again, it's not important to them whether or not you sell on their platform. Peppa C38 said, that's why I was selling only mostly toys, because I can't be bothered with the confusion. Yeah. Until you sell something that's been recalled, and then now you didn't know any better, and now you're getting warned. So that's always possible.
There's something in every category that's going to send up some kind of a flag.
Anytime Picker says, eBay has been watching a lot of YouTubers talking about suspensions, but so far there's nothing done. I don't think they care. They don't care. It's more effort than they want to spend on the subject. And even those changes I said, they can block us from making those listings that are not allowed, because that takes money to implement that. They don't want to do it. Biscuit says, I need to take John to one of those rec rooms to unleash his anger. No, just come over here after the live stream, Archie. You'll be plenty enough. Smack you around a little bit.
Archie knows. Sparkly
Archie knows we love him. I see when on the other end have said, I will not allow you to talk to me like that. So far, you told me you can't do. Please tell me what you can. Otherwise, connect with the supervisor. Yeah. And then they say, oh, well, they're on the other line right now. They'll have to call you back. Believe me, that's where it went.
Yeah.
Let's see. Citizen says, eBay corporate doesn't care. I'm a member of a Facebook reseller group with thousands of sellers. Some have gone to eBay HQ. eBay says they listen, but they don't. Overpaid liars ran by amateurs. Right. I guarantee you, if you were on the board, board of directors, and said, oh, my neighbor got suspended because of this, that, and the other thing, and here's their complaint, they would absolutely listen, right? But because you don't have that kind of power, you're just nobody to them. Mark says there's no valid reason why they cannot post the restricted list. Also, they need to have the bots automatically block the post. That's it. It's not that difficult. Got Kent Hamilton. Hi, Jenna. Oh, yeah. Hi, John.
Hi, Kent.
No Agenda 77 says, yes, great tip. Also, forget to clear out your ended. You can sort by ended date. That happened to me last night. Tommy says they can't post the list because it's literally never ending and ever changing. eBay is never going to post that list to back them in a corner. They don't know until a company contracts them. So what you do is you have somebody or a team that is maintaining that list, that's preventing the listing from being made. That's
all they do all day long.
And you prevent the listing from launching. If you use Velcro, you're going to get hit with a Vero. You have somebody that's maintaining that list that the software points to and says, you can't list this item. Okay. And if you have names that are removed, you have someone remove that. And it shouldn't take someone like me to, come up with that kind of
they don't want to put, that's somebody working a frontline job that they don't want to pay to be working a single job.
Yeah. KH&H, does that take away from your 250 free listings? It probably does, but I have 1,000 on that account, and I only had 300 in the store at the time, 320. So it's not that big of a deal. We had moved most of our other listings to the other store before any of this stuff happened. X Deathmind says, hello from Germany. Love your videos. Help me a lot. I got eBay shop as well. Just to start, I can't believe sometimes how eBay handles stuff. Sorry for the English. No, I understand it perfectly. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you watching the videos. Let's see here if I can get some here. Druganet, I just posted a comment in the last video that was the same thing that happened to me. My main beef was eBay sent 2 warnings about the gummies, but it didn't explain it was a global shipping in Germany. Right. Let's see. Victor Wawiorka, I had my account suspended 15 years back after my brother bid on one of my items that he was interested in. If I remember right, it was for a week, but I got reinstated after 3 days after many calls. Yeah. Nothing's really set in stone. That's why I was thinking, like the whole the Chris Lynn situation, Daily Refinement. I really think if he spoke to the right people and made the right argument, that he'd already have his account back by now. Even with him saying no, it's never coming back. I'm certain if you played the game the right way, that you would get the right person to flip that switch. And White is in the house. Bought my first storage unit today. Got to get through the SH before we the gold sells. All kinds of stuff here. Brand new Echo backpack blower, pays for the unit. The rest is gold. Yeah, that's awesome. Craig says, read The Art of War, apply it to eBay, learn eBay's your own strengths and weaknesses, and take advantage of them. Yeah, I agree with that. Purple Foxes stay strong, John. I just had 3 days sit in the corner from eBay. 0 sales for 9 days now, but staying strong, still optimizing and working with GPT. Remember what you sow today grows tomorrow. Yes. Tommy lost his account for a whole year. I think that's because you're was that on eBay? I quit my job, USPS job, a few weeks before. That was quite stressful. Yes, the UPS job. That was quite stressful. Wow, that's no good.
Eek.
Well,
yeah.
Sorry about that. I would have been screaming. Now I would have been screaming about that.
Yeah.
Carol says, "Yeah, the price of eggs is higher than a pack of cigarettes. Time to kick the eggs." Yeah. I'm not addicted to eggs at all, so that's good.
I just had an egg sandwich.
I mean, think of all the things that made with eggs, though. I mean,
yeah.
Kent, is it just me, or do we all get the same Asian rep when we call because she sounds like the exact I've talked to, or maybe just cloned for a few million times?
Yes,
they have. You could tell. Actually, I had one person. I'm like, was this? That's why I asked, like on the video, is this Colombia? Because they didn't really sound like someone from that call center. And sometimes some of the Colombian agents will sound that way. And the reason why it matters, the why I ask and it matters, is because I've actually had positive interactions with the Colombia reps. Remember, the person that I told you transferred that call to the US rep that tried multiple times was a Colombia rep. I would never have gotten that type of effort from someone in the Philippines. Just the way it is.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm not going to go into the technical stuff here. Michelle, woohoo, hit the like button, and cha-ching, sold a brooch. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Leonard Kosakowski, Lenny. I used to sell nicotine gum. Can't sell anymore when they went to eBay payment system about 3 years ago. Yeah, and that's because I think it was probably Apple Pay. Was one of the approved forms of payment that probably had an issue with it. They had some issues with like coins and stuff too until eBay worked something out.
Yes,
Nicole says, wasn't practice available in kiosk machines at the time?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not.
I think I've seen it in kiosk machines.
Yeah. Jay says, this blonde is semi-attractive in an online chat room kind of way. Wow. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. KHH says, I do not think eBay wants to improve the service. They figure there is always sellers desperate for cash or stolen items that is to sell at any price. They are counting on that, mostly eBay studies. Yeah, you might be right on that. Let's see. Tommy says women's 8s is the best selling size. Yeah. I figure that's probably right. We got Leonard 055. I bought an item off a seller and he left. Did not pay feedback. I messaged him. He said that was for someone else. Called eBay 6 times over months. A year later, it's still there. Wow, that's horrible. Wow. Charles says, I sold a police patch for Canada. eBay took it down. He said it was some special letter on it. eBay is becoming a big brother. Yeah. Wow. Kid Wilson, 33, went back to delivering pizza and making some money. Gonna rebuild my savings and then take the pressure off when sales are slow. Got to know when to pull the ripcord sometimes. Yeah. And it's to me, it's just about sourcing. I mean, thankfully, I've been doing better with the sourcing, and we're gonna see where that takes me.
It won't be mouthwash though anymore.
Yeah, no. Truman here says, this is a rule of thumb I try to follow. Do not expect 8-cylinder engine performance out of a 4-cylinder engine. Just keep dialing.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's see. Tommy says, I think any dingo is an overall health factor, 100%. Yes. But if you're selling great stuff, it doesn't. I've seen bad accounts that have like 90% positive feedback and they're just making sales like crazy because their prices are good and they have stuff that people want. Purple Fox is the ding sits in your account for 90 days. Once you get through this, it's there, but has no effect going forward. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, it's like if you see your seller ranking changes. Amazon Seller 99 says on Amazon, seller performance doesn't typically look back more than 18 months. After 6, it falls off the official list, but they still consider up to 18 months depending on what the violation was. That's probably why on Amazon I don't have that counterfeit thing. I had bought, I had one of these third-party brands in one of these pallets. It's an Amazon pallet. Of course, I went back and tried to flip it on that brand, and they had other sellers on there, and they tried to hit me for a counterfeit. So it's like, all right, well, nobody's going to counterfeit your fake, phony brand, but okay, that's fine. Let's see here.
Jovial's asking about
where?
duck pin.
Where did I pass it?
Duck pin bowling. You're slow down. I can't even see you.
Well, I'm just trying to get to it. AEIOU from eBay says, looks like I missed a bunch of this. I assume you've already mentioned if you're back on. Rooting for you. Yeah, back on, and just had to take some things in my own hands to get my listings back up a little bit faster. Let's see. Mark says eBay needs to bring customer service back in-house totally 100%. Over the years, other major companies that have used third-party call centers have realized the mistake it was. They went back to in-house.
Yes. And
it isn't going to be until the right person that makes those decisions really sees that for themselves before that decision's ever made. Tommy says, if you don't have sales for 2 weeks, end all items now. Throw every one of them in the trash. Start over and learn to check sell-through rate before buying. Yeah. But I mean, you know what?
I think it doesn't. He sells. He's in a niche.
Yeah, you just gotta maybe just try to the end and relist with a better price. And Callie Deb says, hi John and Jenna and all. We have male asses Murphy on here. Amazon seller actually is correct. Nevada Supreme Court ruling a telephone conversation without parties' consent is a felony. Well, then I guess I'm in trouble then, huh? Maybe they'll come out here from Manila and file charges. I don't know. But hopefully you guys got more out of that than that, because it wasn't trying to throw an agent under the bus. And of course I made sure that the name was not, even though it's a stage name, was not able to be heard. Amazon Seller 99, glad to hear that your account is active again. It can be really stressful when a marketplace threatens your account. Yes. Brian Leda says, hey, John and Jenna, what do you guys use for bookkeeping? I'm using my Reseller Genie right now, and I'm going to use that to collect the data. I was using last year at this time, I was using GoDaddy, but they shut everyone down. And so that's the way we roll with our data. So I'll let you know how that works out for me. I kind of like the reports and everything. Big Bandit, they have the software to be able to just send you a warning message whenever they spot a listing that is against the eBay policy with no strikes. Problem solved. Yeah, problem solved. Jono says, hi, John. Do you have any recommendations for a camera for pictures on your listings, or do you use your phone? I love my iPhone. I have the iPhone 14. The iPhone, even the older models, you can go in and adjust the exposure. So what I've kind of learned is when you have something that can be washed out, like let's say like a black item, and it turns kind of gray, turn your exposure to the negative. And when you have something that just comes out really dark with your photos, and this is assuming you're using like pretty good LED lights, go to the positive and brighten your photos at the time you're taking them. Use square photos and not just let it default, because if you're cross-posting to Mercari, the photos aren't going to come out right. So use those settings and that should work. Let's see. Eddie Estrada's in the house. I found a huge box of old, good quality clothing that doesn't fit anymore due to COVID weight in my storage. Going to wash them and post them soon. Yes, be a good idea.
That's what you need to do.
What?
You need to go through your hats.
Yeah, I got hats.
And your t-shirts.
I don't know. I'm like that lady with the stuff I want to buy. Just like I can't let them go. No Agenda 77 says you can get flagged for having a word in the title that has nothing to do with that you're selling. Yeah, it's keyword spamming. Jovial Juggler just had another layaway. Awesome. Dave Philman says you have to kiss eBay ring to get suspensions removed. Well, I don't feel like I kissed the ring. I just really put in a lot of work to get the right people. I just put in an offer and had to provide payment information in case they accept. Yeah. And I hear someone said that they're going to just change their mind on that, and that's never going to happen, never going to actually roll out like they promised us last year. Tommy says, I'm saying if Company X has never issued Veronas and not on list, and I get suspended because Company X issues Vero, I can blame eBay. Without list, we can't blame eBay. eBay will never take the blame. But if they implement that list to where you can't sell Veronas at all because today they're on the list, but next month they remove Veronas off the list and you then can, we don't need to see a list. We just basically, if we're confused, we try to list the item. And if the item gets listed, and let's say they put Veronas on the list, they simply do a search for all those Veronas that are on their marketplace and have someone go in and delete all. I mean, we could delete all of our listings within one like 5-minute period. There should be a way to delete all the unwanted listings for those items. And, for me to sit up on the phone and tell somebody, no, you can't sell that, but then why are you letting all these people sell? Well, that's not important. It should be important if you're part of, trust and safety, talking about, let's say, they flagged one of my items one time. It was a little kid's soccer ball. It's a hover ball. Because I used the word hover, they thought it was a hoverboard. But yet you have hundreds of hoverboards on eBay. So instead of getting on me, find someone to delete all these items, because it's not a good look for eBay. Just doesn't make any sense. Why even have a trust and safety department when they're not flagging the currently listed items? Let's see. Go down. Craig Winans says, I'd rather have eBay prevent me from listing an item wrongly than suspend me for listing an item I don't know was a string. Yeah, right. I have no problem with that. I'm like, oh, I didn't know I couldn't do this.
I agree.
Let's see. I'm trying to catch up to you guys. I think I kind of am, so that's good. Sandra Hauer says, do some of these reps work from home? I have heard dogs.
Sandra Hoyer.
Do some of these reps work from home? I have heard dogs and kids in the background of my calls.
And chickens.
I heard a rooster go off one time. I'm like, and the rooster went off, and I'm like, I said loudly, I said, wow. Oh, it's like,
yes,
really?
They do.
I could tell you in the US, you're probably not going to have that issue, but maybe you will if they have like someone working from home from a farm or something. Noah Design says, we will never get a complete list of Vero items because like what Tommy said is a business tactic and business accountability. Yeah, but there's a way to automate it. We talked about Chat GPT and how smart that is. You have your system set up to where, you're taking in AI and like, oh, you can't list that before I actually process the listing. Mad City Resell. So dude that bought it messaged me at least 20 times saying was sent, described, caught onto a scam quick. Yeah, you got to just use your sixth sense to weed out some of these buyers. CM Retro Gaming says, what are some sleeper items we need to look out for at garage sales this year? Found a sealed Monster High doll at Goodwill for $250 last week. You know what I look for? Anything that's new. Not new necessarily, like you can go to Walmart or whatever store you choose and can find it, but what's still in new condition. I think that's something that I see at a lot of yard sales, and even it's something I'm not all that interested in. Chances are someone's looking for that item and they'd rather have it new than used. Purple Hustle says, my goal is to use the money I make from eBay and Poshmark towards another business venture at some point. Tommy says 100% eBay cannot have accountability for lawsuits of items we list. And I get it. I understand. They want to protect themselves. And it's just one of those things where they can protect everyone by just not allowing it to happen in the first place. Let's see. F timestamp. It's 24 minutes after the hour here. Okay. I think I'm kind of caught up. Okay. Yeah. Our dog, Chewy, he's been like walking on 3 legs, not on his right back leg. Yeah. And so I've been calling him Skip.
So mean.
No, I love the dog. That's my dog. But, it just, come on. What can I do?
We just got him. He's not old. I mean, he's what, 6?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's his hip. So I just ordered him some little dog bites that have some stuff that's for joints and arthritis and stuff, because it is cold here.
Yeah.
Whether you guys believe it or not, it's cold.
Andy says, by the way, for anybody interested, Tommy and Biscuit Butt adult items used to be restricted sales on eBay. Now it's allowed. Really? Well, I mean, it's not like I have any to sell, but I mean, sometimes you'll get that
Biscuit
stuff.
Butt does.
So yeah, sometimes you'll get that stuff in like Amazon pallets, and you get it, and you're like, "Oh wow, what's this?" And you flip open the lid, and you're like, "Wow,
that has happened." Or he takes it out of the box and doesn't
like,
know.
what? I'm like, what is this?
And he's like, and I'm all, put it down.
I mean, some of the contraptions that they come out with now on Amazon that they put in these
so
pallets, it's like,
gross.
wow, that's like, I would never have expected that. I mean, you get all kinds of weird stuff that Amazon sells, but you're not expecting to pull that kind of stuff. But yeah, that goes right in the trash. I did have my high school best friend. I received one of those, and I said, yeah, I got a gift for you. And I mailed it to him. And of course, we have that kind of a friendship where he thought it was funny, you know. So yeah.
He didn't know it was coming, and his wife got the mail.
Oh yeah, well, she knows us. So
I know.
Let's see. Anytime Picker says a bunch of YouTubers made videos when calling eBay and talking to reps for no issues. Otherwise, everyone would be in jail by now. Yeah, you know, they give you 3 good meals a day, you know, and I don't have to worry about any kind of negative feedback there. So Tommy Bernard podcast. I think that if the other party is in Nevada, don't think Philippines' privacy lawsuits. Other party's location is not what matters. But I think the bigger thing is if I like put the names out, I think that's also, it's like, man, it sucks to be able to, you know, now they know who I am, that kind of thing. I mean, I guarantee you're not going to be able to identify. Okay, you're not going to be able to identify who that person is when you call and talk to that person. Oh, you were the one that was on the video I watched. No, you're not, because you're not gonna have their name. Let's see, Aunt White, any opinion on reseller cert? It cost 100 where I am. It would be a pain for itself this week. I just didn't know where to file it. My city hall said to file with the state. It's with the state. It's worth it in the sense that, like, some of these sites, they'll charge you tax, but you're not the end user. And only the end user is supposed to really be paying sales tax on that item. So by having the reseller certificate, it's going to cost you like 15 to 20 bucks. You go through the online process, and you pay online, and then they'll send you that thing in the mail.
Tommy says that was eBay calling. You should answer.
You know, it wasn't. Someone in Philadelphia. I'm like, I don't know who that is. So, you know, I've been getting a lot of, over the last 6 months, a lot of like surveys. And it's like, I don't want to answer no survey. I'm done.
that might be K calling.
Yeah.
No one designs.
Yeah, it might be. Tommy says, Andy, I have faith in my adult toys. All are thoroughly tested.
Yeah.
Is that before you get them?
Yeah.
Let's see. No one design. Record yourself on speakerphone in Starbucks and no lawsuits. Let's see.
Flippin' ain't sleazy.
Where? Oh no, this is getting off the rails, I think.
Right, yeah.
Flipping ain't sleazy. Biscuit, but eBay records their conversations and they never ask my consent. I live in Nevada. No Agenda 77. Arrest all eBay employees. Have ChatGPT run the site. Well, that's a little far. I think, look, these people are doing their jobs. This is a management issue. This is a mismanagement issue at the call center level. When these kind of things are allowed. So not arresting employees that are being told what to do. It's more get rid of the mindset, and that starts at the top. Let's see. Wanda says, I would like to see where a folder can be created to hold all the zero inventory listings and eBay does not delete it. Possible, maybe. Maybe that's just, I think you can keep your zero listings. I believe you can. I don't mess with that. So maybe someone can point you in the right direction.
No way.
I heard elephant once while talking with an eBay rep.
I would die.
Wow,
if I heard an elephant in the background.
James is in the house. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Yeah, I'm late. Can you start all over again, please? Just know that I'm okay. The account's fine. Everything's back to where it should be, and I'm just treating it as a learning experience, and all is well. But hopefully you watched the 2 videos I put out. One today as an update. I put out one as an update to the one I put over the weekend. It'll give you the whole story, aside from the fact that I had to do some things. And then No Agenda 77 says, I smell meth. That's a joke against James there, because his neighbor thought he was selling meth and not an eBay seller.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Bill York says, should you tell another seller if there's an error in their listing? I would, yeah. I mean, if you do it in just a nice way, hey, I just checking through, just thought you might want to know that
We've had people message us about something wrong, and like, say, just for instance, we put like a size 8 in the title, but then in the description it says it's 7.5. They will call us out on
I had the bearded picker contact me about a printer. I had the wrong model number in there. I was like, that's not the right one. I'm like, all right. Let's see. Biscuit Butt says, I'll sum it up for you, James. eBay sucks. Don't list mouthwash. All Philippine reps are named Bob. That's about it.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
The live in a nutshell.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm not going to say what Tommy just said there. I'll let you guys read that.
Oh, I didn't see it.
CM Retro Gaming. One last question. Why do the Cowboys suck so bad at playoff football? That's them Cowboys. I was looking to see what Stephen A said this time. Stephen A. Smith. I always laugh about that. I have a buddy who loves the Cowboys, who goes out to the Cowboy games in Dallas, and he's from California. Jovial says, turn a negative into a positive as you have done. Who knows? Maybe this will reboot your store. May you receive bunches and bunches of sales. Well, no, thank you. I appreciate that.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, thank you for the kind words on that. At least the account is back and the millions will continue to flow. Yeah, right. Not getting rich off this gig, I can tell you. Nabu, how you just started eBay. Why does my items that I have for sale don't pop out when I look them up in search history? In search history, well, I don't know. But in searches, a lot of times you can't look up your own stuff. It's good to sign out and try it on.
Sign out and do it as a guest or something.
Do you two ever buy storage units, or are you curious about that? I'm not really curious about it because Archie's done it and he's had some disappointments. He's had some good ones. Been there with him when he's uncovered a pretty good one, but it's just like, if I'm going to be buying stuff that's a surprise, I might as well just buy like mystery box lots, Amazon. At least I know what surprises I'm going to get. KH&H says, is there a formula for selling on eBay? 100% goes towards original purchase price, then 30% eBay and shipping fees, and 30% reinvested, and 60% take home, minus 50% IRS taxes. Really, the formula for selling on eBay starts with buying low so you can actually be one of the lowest price points for whatever you're selling. And that's the key. Too many people buy high and they think I got great stuff. You do, but you don't have a lot of room to work with. So that to me would be the place to start. Nelly says, so far my vintage Playboys haven't been pulled. AEIO from eBay says, Texas is a one-party consent recording state, so I know if I'm recording, it doesn't matter if I ask permission or even tell them.
Most states are one party.
Kiki rocks you too. I used to sell tons of vintage bondage magazines. Big money, but hard to find. Most people dump grandpa's stash. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think the millennials are into that kind of stuff anymore. I think as the kinky generation is dying off. Let's see. Thomas says only Monday, Friday may be cray at this point. Who knows? Ping G is in the house. Zero quantity listings stay for 6 months. Okay, so that's good to know. Zero listings stay for 60 days, then deleted. So is it 60 days or 6 months? 60 days or 6 months? I don't know.
That's when you get two different reps answers.
I think we should ask ChatGPT, my co-host here. I think he's still there or she's still there. I don't know. Let's see. I'll do that. So the question is, on eBay, how long do zero inventory listings last or stay visible? Or are you going to say some crazy answer? Well, I'll tell you what it says when it comes back to me. Someone said they heard Tarzan. Really?
Stop it.
Wanda Gurr says the zero listings timeout and eBay deletes them if you don't get renewed inventory in the time they want you to. It says on Chat GPT says on eBay, zero inventory listings will stay visible until the listing expires or the seller manually ends the listing. The default listing duration for most items on eBay is 30 days. However, sellers can choose to end the listings earlier or extend the duration of the listing if they wish. So that's the answer they give. Take that for what it is. Oh, we got Bermuda 975. Thank you. 100 for flipping ain't easy. Neon light sign. No, can't do that.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's sweet that you like it. However,
Etsy,
that was a very,
I think it was like $300 or $400 on Etsy.
Yeah.
You had to get it custom made. So it's definitely worth it and cool. I mean, it does all kinds of flashes and stuff, but someone
it does, it changes different colors.
Yeah.
It does all kinds of stuff.
But thank you for that.
It is fun.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thrift Gorilla says, I usually extend that courtesy when I find someone wrong on another seller's title when I go sell similar and send them a message. Yeah. If you do it in a way, say, hey,
I mean, because, we are human and we do make mistakes. And so it's nice that, maybe another pair of eyes could check that out.
Yeah. Thomas says the time you spend to fix another person's listing could be better spent putting up another listing of your own instead. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just like to help people. You're in Vegas.
Go out of my way.
May as well play a slot machine if you want to gamble. And definitely, I just don't have the desire. I used to like slot machines, and every so often I'll play them, but not anymore. Tommy says, I have a friend looking at your own items and search is absolutely pointless. Won't nearly be the same as someone on another side of the country. Yes, I agree. AIOU says, I almost forgot to give the thumbs up and I need the sale. Yes, hit that thumbs up because we're getting close to the end of this. Piggy Ricky says, get an item free and sell for tens of thousands is a great formula. Yeah, when you can find it, right? Like, like people have these large item pickups. There's people that'll go driving around on days where people are putting stuff out for the large item pickup, and they'll go and pick this stuff up and recondition
drive around
it
with their trucks.
Yeah, and they'll sell it. Let's see here. Noah Design 2. Bob was recently hired by Chat GPT. Where's the neon sign thing? Right, is that a legit neon? That's a great price. It looks legit. I think
it is. Yeah, it's real.
Yeah. But it was expensive. That's for sure.
It was very hard. It was a nightmare to get.
So look, guys, we're an hour and 46 in. We've had maintained over 140 people this whole time. You guys are awesome. Let me just say that. Thank you for hanging with us. And what's that?
You scroll down.
Oh no. How about put on KC hat and remove that Raiders? Well, hey, I'm playing for next year. Okay.
Does it glow blue? Yes, it does.
No, it does not.
I thought it does.
No, it's just red, but it'll the light itself is red, but it'll flash and stuff.
It'll do all different kinds of. Okay, so my bad. I thought it changed colors.
It'll do all kinds of stuff. But someone complained about that, which is why now someone's gonna have a headache because of me. Hope not. So that's kind of what it does. But I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being here with us and all you do to help make these live streams what they are. And I just want to really, from the bottom of my heart, just thank everyone, even the ones I didn't mention.
Turn it off.
So I'll turn it off.
You're gonna give.
I don't want to do that. But just know this, that dealing with eBay, you have to have certain expectations. You cannot call eBay and think that you're going to get someone that really cares about your situation, because the truth is they don't. That's the sad thing. You might reach that one or two reps that may actually show you that they care, but most of them do not. And that's just the reality when you're working in a call center. That's just the way it is. But yet it's just another example of sometimes how flipping ain't easy. Turns on. Flipping ain't easy.
That was bad.
And I just want to thank you. And darn it, Tommy, just remember Bob's your uncle. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the super chats. We really appreciate it. We're going to go to Sizzler now and have us.
He's always teasing me with this whole Sizzler thing.
So
we don't have one.
Yeah. So thank you, guys. Have a great start to your week. Look, take my experience. Just know that, you know what? That wasn't the end of my world. I came back from it. And if something like this happens to you, just keep your head up and just do the things you're supposed to do and learn from it. So until next time, guys, keep making those sales and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.